English, Afrikaans. That's right, I'll take Afrikaans. I'll talk to the white man. So he's learning Afrikaans. One of the youngest of the world's languages, and a small group of 4 million men, women and children, their language the guy is learning. Second language, no, I'm sorry, the first one in the list you read. Amazing. It says American Sign Language. You see sometimes in the planes, you know, the person is talking and somebody behind is doing like this. He's telling you what the person is talking is for the deaf and the dumb. Sign language. Say American Sign Language number 1. Second one, Afrikaans. Number 2, 3. 38 different languages are listed. Why? They want to do a job. You don't want to do any job. You are satisfied. You Urdu fellow, Urdu and English, because we need English to make a living. And Urdu is your mother tongue. Okay. You Arab? What? Arabic, you're satisfied. You want to learn another language? Yeah, maybe say English. They are learning 30 because they want to do a job. You don't want to do any job. There's some, look, men, think, why is this guy doing that? Why is he doing that? Can we learn from him? Can we emulate his example? We don't have you to invent the wheel once more again. Go and look at the enemy, what he's doing, learn from him, and get on from there. So, I don't know, my dear brothers and sisters, I would rather leave myself open to you for questions and answers. There might be so many things that you want to know about Africa in the field of dawah, or about the field of dawah in other places, here in what's happening in the UAE, what's happening in Saudi Arabia, what's happening in Bahrain and Kuwait. What do you want to know where this confrontation is taking place in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Indonesia? I am in the field, and if I don't know, I'll make it my duty to find out for next time. I'm at your disposal entirely. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Pakistan. The Christians are boasting that they have perverted more Pakistanis into Christianity since independence than the previous 100 years of British rule. They are boasting that there are so many cities in Pakistan with more than 1 lakh Christians each. Karachi, more than 1 lakh Christians. Lakh means 100,000. More than 1 lakh Christians. Multan, more than 1 lakh Christians. Lahore, more than 1 lakh Christians. Sialkot, with the border with the enemy, more than 2 lakh Christians. And they are saying that there are so many towns and villages in the Punjab, there are more Christians than Muslims. I went and spoke to Junaid. I don't know what he was then, a few years back. To Junaid in Pakistan. I was giving him these facts and figures in his office. So he called his aides and he's telling them, Pakistan to Islam ka kila hai. Usko, this is getting cracked. Pakistan is a fortress of Islam and it is getting cracked. And you people are not informing me what's going on. I spoke to Ziaul Haq. Same response. The poor fellow doesn't know what's going on in the country. He didn't know. Now, I personally, I said, now this missionaries coming from the outside, what's happening in Nigeria. They get these missionaries, the hot gospel preachers, to come and provoke the Muslims, and the Muslims, because they don't know how to answer, they get frustrated and they take action into their own hands. Riots taking place. Pakistan is more peaceful as far as that is concerned. Now, to me, I said, every Muslim, he must become a propagator. We must welcome the people to come into your country and give battle to them. But you're not armed, you don't know what to talk. You don't know how to talk. I said, look, learn from me. Look, I'm not a professor, but there's something I can give you. I can give you a survival kit. You know, there's an atom war. You need some survival kit where you can get into some shelter somewhere and you might exist there for a month, 2 months, you can exist, you can be alive. Survival kit. And I discovered this kit in Sudan. Amazing. You know, wherever I go, I learn something. Something comes my way. In the Sudan. You see, about 10 years ago, I got stranded in Khartoum. I was going from Doha, Qatar to back home. So I'm asking the people, what is the shortest line to South Africa? So they tell me from Doha to Khartoum, Khartoum to Nairobi, Nairobi to Johannesburg and Durban. I said, right. Are there connecting flights? They said, yes. So I took the flight from Doha, Qatar. Land in Khartoum, no connecting flight. And the Sudanese gave me such wonderful welcome that I cried to Allah, Ya Bari Ta'ala, for this I want Jannah. Look, I don't say for Salah, Zakat, Hajj, Som, but for that, what I went through, the things where they put me in that airport building, what they did to me, I'm crying to Allah. I said, for this I want Jannah. Not for anything else, for this. I know that's matter between me and Allah. You're going to ask me, have you a right to talk like that? I said, don't worry about it. That's between me and Allah. I spoke to him like that. I want Jannah for this. And somehow I managed to get out. 2 o'clock in the morning. I go to a hotel. Next morning I just turn around and say, let's have a look. I find a university Muslim bookshop. I go there. I want to know whether you get the Quran. He says, no. I send a translation. He says, no. And Arabic Quran says, no. University Islamic bookshop. No. What have you got? On Islam, nothing. I fumble around. I find Mao's thoughts. Thoughts of Mao. Mao's thoughts. I find the Gospel of St. Mark in the Islamic bookshop. Next door is the Bible Society bookshop. I go there. I say, what Bibles have you got? He said, what Bibles do you want? I said, no, what have you got? What do you want? I said, you got English Bible? He said, yes. You got Arabic Bible? He said, yes. I said, you got Southern Sudanese language? He said, yes. So what do you want? I said, I'm only asking. That was 10 years ago. Now I go again, I'm welcome, alhamdulillah. Now I make a beeline for the same university bookshop. Have you got the Quran? No. Translation? No. Arabic Quran? No. What have you got? I found a book, Islam in Africa. That's the subject of this evening's talk. I got that title from there. I'm interested about Islam in Africa. I stand and read abuses on our Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, written by Christian missionaries. Puts Rushdie to shame. Or maybe Rushdie got his inspiration from there. And they're attacking the Sudanese in that book. These are barbarians, uncivilized, uncouth people, savages in that book. And they're selling that. I paid 850 pounds for that book. Don't get frightened. That's like 850 cents, American cents. $8.50. I paid 850 pounds for that book. Next door, Bible Society. I go there, I say, yes. What Bibles you got? I say, what you want? I say, English Bible? I say, yes. How much? 15 pounds. That's 15 pence. That's 15 cents. Actually, 25 American cents. I said, right. My son says, we buy 2 case lots. How much? I said, no reduction in price. So, for 25 American cents each, we bought 2 cases of the Bible. 2 cases, 48 altogether. Now, I've got the university students. I had given some other course for them. Now, everybody gets a Bible each. Everybody a Bible each. This is your Scud missile. And I'll show you how to prime it. How to use this. This Scud, the enemy is throwing at you, is making you to swallow it. Now I said, how you turn it back on him. Got the Bibles? Everybody. Right? I said, now open up. What is this book? This is the Holy Bible. What do you call it in Arabic? Huh? Yes. What is it? Injil. It's Injil. So they said also, Injil. That's right. This is the Injil. I said, open the Injil now. First book of the Injil. Called Genesis. Open chapter 19. Got it, everybody? Got 19? Yes. Verse 30. Look for verse 30. Got it? Say yes. I'm a teacher now. I'm teaching class. Right, read. So he starts reading. Next one. After 2 verses, you. Carry on. And your ears go red. What you're reading. Lut alayhi salam. Hazrat Lut alayhi salam. His daughters are seducing him, having sex with him night after night by getting him drunk. That's that. Right? Mark it in your book. Prime it for use. Same book, don't go far. Genesis chapter 35, verse 22, open. Reuben, one of the sons of Yaqub alayhi salam, he goes and has sex, intercourse with his mother. Mark it. Prime it. You know, you have a bomb, you have to prime it for propulsion. Right, Genesis chapter 38, open. Say, don't go far, the first book of the Bible. Don't go far. First book, chapter 38. You read about Judah, the father of the Jewish race, from whom we get the word Judaism, Judah. He goes along and has sex with his daughter-in-law. So I said, you know what you do? You. I want you to acquaint yourself with this. Now, any Christian comes to you, you ask him, I says, do you know, they want to argue and debate with you. Ask him, do you know what is incest? Do you know what is incest? Look, the guy's educated, you want to preach about it, he knows what is incest. I-N-C-E-S-T, incest. If he doesn't know, you explain. Father and daughter having sex together, that is incest. You go and have sex with somebody else's wife is adultery, fornication. Right? When you have with your own daughter, that is incest. When you have with your own mother, incest. When you have with your own daughter-in-law, incest. When you have with your own sister, incest. There are more than 4 kinds of incest in the Bible. I said, let me write a book on incest. The types and types of incest that you can commit. And I want to present it to your daughter.